What's up, everyone? This is Cassius, Tryptamine Astrology Readings, and I have some good news for you. We have Mars trine Neptune going on right now, and it's a quite interesting transit, I think. Mars is starting to slow down because it's about to retrograde, and Mars only retrogrades once every 2 years because it takes about 2 years to go around the Sun, and when it retrogrades, it's even longer than an outer planetary annual retrograde, like a Neptune retrograde or Uranus retrograde. It lasts almost an entire half a year, if somewhere around that time. So in 2016, Mars is going to retrograde in Scorpio. It's going to stay stuck on Saturn. Let's see when. Forgot when. But anyway, what we have right now is we have Mars trine Neptune, which is a very different aspect. Mars-Neptune aspects are very strange because they're such completely different energies. You know, Mars is about physical vitality, and it's about Mars is a very deeply important part of your soul. Mars is your physical energy. It has to do with your physical health a lot, your heart. I've seen people with heart problems have Mars aspects, and just like I've seen people with autoimmune disorders have Uranus aspects, like Crohn's disease having Mercury opposition Uranus, things like that. So anyway, Mars trine Neptune is a positive aspect between Mars, the planet of physical vitality, energy, force, energy. It's pretty obvious what Mars is about. It's that making a positive aspect to our collective place of spirituality. The way we all feel at one era of time in the spirituality, the way the spirituality of that era is progressing, that would be the Neptune position of that era. So for example, in the 90s we had Neptune in Capricorn. In the 80s and 90s we had Neptune straight in Capricorn. So the spiritual feeling, the religious feeling, the deep, higher vision of the future, Pisces type place for that, in that era of time, was in a very non-spiritual place. I have Neptune in Capricorn, and I have a grounded imagination. Very grounded, very practical imagination. And every time Neptune, well anyway, that's another story, but now Neptune is in Pisces, it's in its own sign. So our place of spirituality in this era of time, 2011 to 2025, Neptune, our place of spirituality, is in the sign of spirituality. So there's a lot of deep spiritual feeling in the air, and it's going to last for 10 more years. That's right. And after that, our spirituality is going to get fiery while our place of ideological identity, our place of Uranus in the sky, is in Taurus. So that means that in 2025, in that whole era of time, we will be about building structures. It'll be a fiery place of spiritual conviction. So from all this deep, flowing, crazy, spiritual energy that we're feeling until 2025, after 2025, it's going to go into Aries. So that spiritual conviction is going to be set on fire. And we're going to, especially emphasized by Uranus and Taurus then, we will be about building structures. And it's great because Pluto will go into Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius is the placement of the French Revolution, the American Revolution, all of that period of time. That was a global period of revolution. It was. And I believe that some of the factors of the 1776 through 90 or so, the Pluto in Aquarius, I think that was really significant. But anyway, with Mars in Scorpio, trining Neptune in Pisces, trining the spiritual node spirituality, flowing the energy of spirituality, well, we're getting a reinvigorated sense of willpower and optimism when it comes to our place of spirituality, Neptune and Pisces. And I find it also very synchronistic and interesting that Neptune in Pisces is exactly opposite Orcus in Virgo. Exactly opposite. Like, okay, so there's a one place where Neptune or Uranus, these outer planets, get stuck, and they just stay stuck at the end of its retrograde. Like Saturn got stuck at 27 degrees Scorpio just before. Uranus got stuck. Uranus is stuck at 16 degrees Aries right now, making a positive aspect to my Sun. And Neptune is stuck at 7 degrees Pisces. Neptune is stuck exactly opposite Orcus. So I do believe that in our place of spirituality, in our collective node of spiritual feeling right now, we have the deep energy of Orcus in that. I know Orcus well because the dwarf planet Orcus is aligned with my full moon, opposite my Sun and Mars. I can feel Orcus within my being. And this is a really far out place to go with astrology. I don't even mess with asteroids because I don't want to associate meaning to something that doesn't actually have that meaning, unless it's strictly seen as metaphorical. It's not metaphorical. I physically believe that the reason people are the way they are is because their souls are a snapshot of the energy running through the earth, the beams of light from the planets flowing through the earth, the beams of light from the stars flowing through the planets and the signs, making angles to each other in the sky, hitting the earth. Your soul's a snapshot of that. For some reason, don't know why, but at birth, your soul is solidified in your body. So, you see the way I'm talking right now? It's a reinvigorated sense of willpower for this beautiful Neptune in Pisces. And Neptune in Pisces is either a very deep, spiritual, beautiful spiritual thing, or it could be confusion and delusion and the flat earther type stuff, you see? But right now it's the period of time, it's a little moment in time where it's more practical. Mars trine Neptune, for a Mars aspect, it grounds Neptune a lot. It's really practical and balanced. You might not expect it to be, but it's so practical and balanced. So it's a really good thing that Mars is trining Neptune, and it's an extended Mars trine Neptune. It's going to last the entire next week, and the effects of it are going to resound into the week after that, because Mars is just moving ever so slowly through Scorpio, slower and slower until it gets to early Sagittarius and then starts to retrograde. So it's a beautiful thing, and well, let's see what else is happening in the sky. I'm gonna point the thing at the screen and show you. One second, I gotta pull up this chart. Okay, oh shit. I keep putting in 2015 instead of 2016. I love all y'all's support, man. I just like to do what I like to do. I love your support. I appreciate it so much. I'm a goofball. I like being a goofball. Alright. Check this out. This was yesterday, but okay, check this out. So right now Jupiter is exactly conjunct the North Node. And the other day, the Moon conjoined the South Node to exactly trine the Sun plus Mercury make that configuration. So that positive configuration right there of the moon conjuncted south node making the positive aspect to, Jupiter conjunct the north node, making the positive aspect to Mercury, the sun. Well, that was a turning point, right? So, right now, it's pretty much a good energy. It's pretty much a lot better. But that's that right there. Mars, trine Neptune. Mars, trine Neptune. But the weird thing about right now is that we're in a semi-square web too. What the hell is up with this? Look, semi-square, 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 semi-square. It's a web of semi-squares. Okay, check this out. Jupiter, or Mars is semi-square Jupiter. That's an aspect I have in my chart that's really strong. I have an exact Mars semi-square Jupiter in Capricorn and Aquarius in my chart, and that makes me overextend myself all the time. This is an aspect of overextending yourself. This is an aspect of socially overextending yourself too. Venus semi-square, or Mars semi-square Venus, or Venus semi-square Mars, and then you got, let's see, you've got Sun semi-square Saturn. It's just bad there. You got Sun. That whole thing, it's right in between the Saturn square Neptune. So it's just like, the reason that we felt that bad wave of energy is because Mercury was stuck at the midpoint between the Saturn Neptune square. That semi-squares both of them. Saturn square Neptune is the number one hard aspect of this whole era. You gotta remember that. So, much love